Hey there, Hawks fans. Welcome back to the channel. Not that there's that many of you out there, but sorry for leaving this channel for dead for a while. Rest assured though, we are back with more Hawks content for 2024. Let me know if you have any video ideas for the channel, and please subscribe if you do enjoy the videos. We'd really love to see us hit our first 100 subs by the start of the season. Today we are going to have a look at what our best 22 will look like in what should be a season where we see significant improvement and hopefully climb our way out of the bottom four. We have a lot of promising young talent coming through, so Sam Mitchell is going to have some headaches come round one to take on the Bombers. We are going to be starting off with our defense, starting with our key position players. Obviously, the first name that has to be included is the skipper, James Sicily, coming off an All-Australian season, top 3 intercept player in the comp. This is a no-brainer. Now, originally, I had James Blank in the team, but obviously he is now out for the entire season, so we have no choice but to throw Frosty in here. Hopefully he can stand up to the pressure coming off a pretty rough 2023 season. Now for the rest of the defenders, we are going to have some headaches here to figure out who gets the nod and who just narrowly misses out. Obviously, in my mind, the first choice would be Blake Hardwick. He's one of, if not the most underrated defender in the league. Just does his job week in and week out. It does look like Sam Mitchell will be shaking things up with Hardwick's role this year though, and play him up forward. I'm not sure how this will go. He looked alright in our practice match against the Doggies. We might see it for a few weeks at the start of the season and then see him shift back if it doesn't work out. So for the purpose of this video, I will put him in his best and most established position in the back pocket, lining up against every side's most dangerous small forward. Next up, a new addition to this back six, Kyle Amon looks set to start the year off on the half-back flank. I definitely see the vision behind this. He is an elite ball user, and that left boot will be very handy coming out of defense. Next, we have Jarman Impey, another really underrated player who flies under the radar. He loves to run and carry, he's a decent ball user, and is one of our most experienced players. Honestly, I can see him getting challenged by younger players for a spot in the 22 as the year progresses, but for now, he's definitely got a spot in the other back pocket. For our last defender on the field, I was tossing up between Scrimshaw and Weddle. Scrimshaw had a very up and down 2023, and Weddle was just so impressive in his first year and has reportedly been training the house down. So I expect him to start on the halfback flank for the majority of the year. He's already one of our most versatile players though. He has tremendous running power, but can also switch onto a tall forward if needed. Alright, moving on to our midfield now. Starting with our wings, CJ has been starting on the wing in Hawthorn's match sins this preseason. Unfortunately though, he has been injured, so I do expect Massimo D'Ambrosio to be pretty much guaranteed a spot on the wing, so we will throw him in there. On the other wing, we have a few players to choose from. From an experience point of view, we have Harry Morrison, who had a largely interrupted season in 2023. When he did play later in the year, he played a lot of time up forward. Unless he has taken it to another level this preseason or injuries happen, I can't see him taking this spot over players like Ward, McDonald, or D'Ambrosio, unfortunately. It's hard to pick between those three, and I can see this position being rotated and trialled a lot this year. I will give it to McDonald for now though, as it seems Ward will be playing more of an inside midfield role this season. Speaking of inside midfield positions, this is honestly going to be the easiest part of the video. I'm going to stick with Jai Newcomb, Will Day, and James Worpel as our inside mids to start the year. They were all terrific last season, and I expect them to keep improving as our core unit in 2024. I know Will Day is injured with bone stress in his foot, but he does look set to return early in the season, so I will leave him there. For our ruck, another easy choice in Ned Reeves. Lloyd Meek really struggled last year, and players like Max Ramsden and Clay Tucker are still very raw prospects, but I would like to see them feature at some point this year. Alright, now moving on to our forward line. For our key positions, I fully expect Mitch Lewis, Mabior Chol, and Jack Gunston to all feature in the same forward line. I have a very good feeling about how the forward line will be structured this year. There's a lot more potency and versatility, something that we have lacked a lot since the 3P era. Mitch Lewis is coming off a breakout year, and hopefully he can stay fit to play through an entire season. The support of Chol and Gunston will help take a lot of pressure off of his shoulders, and Mabior Chol can even jump in as a backup ruck for when Reeves needs a break. Dylan Moore is the next player to slot straight into the forward line. He probably didn't kick as many goals as he would have liked in 2023, but he was integral to our link-up play, and he's so exciting as a player. He's another versatile player who will hover between that sort of half forward, midfield and wing role, and he will yet again be one of our most important players this year. Another new addition to our forward line is Jack Ginnivan. I fully expect him to be a mainstay in our best 22, barring any drop-off in form. Obviously, he struggled to hold on to his spot at the Pies after a very strong 2022 season, but he's been training the house down so far this preseason and looks fitter than he ever has. Another no-brainer here, Luke Bruce. Even if he does regress a little bit this year from age, he is going to be good enough to hold on to this spot. I do expect him to be rested a lot more this year, so do expect Nick Watson to feature a lot in his place. Now to the bench. Players that come to mind immediately are going to be Josh Ward and Connor Nash. These guys are going to feature regularly in our midfield, and I think the players who are starting in place of them are better, so these guys will be on the bench for this video. But honestly, so many of these midfield spots are interchangeable as we are starting to build some serious depth in this part of the field. Speaking of which, I reckon Cam Mackenzie will start to challenge for minutes as well. He is improving a lot over the preseason. Sam Mitchell loves him, so he does deserve a spot on the bench too. He really looked good in that practice match against the Dogs, so I'm very excited to see what 2024 holds for Cam Mackenzie. We probably do need another general defender in the mix here, so I will put Jack Scrimshaw on the bench. On his day, he is an elite ball user and is underrated for his intercept capabilities. We just need to see a bit of improvement from a down year in 2023. Now, due to the new rules the AFL has imposed, teams will now name 5 players on the bench instead of the 4+1 sub. Now, I don't really get this rule change because the 5th player is still going to be a substitute and not be part of the interchange rotations, but we will name a 5th player for the sake of this video, and any of these interchange players could be a sub. I'm going to name Nick Watson, obviously our top 5 draft pick. He has impressed in preseason training. He might be small and initially struggle with the physicality of AFL footy, but his quick speed and agility will help him contribute to what promises to be a much improved forward line from previous years. Now, there are a few unlucky players, and this is a great problem to have for the Hawks. The fact that we are building depth so early into our rebuild means we aren't too far away from a finals push. Finn McGuinness was a key part of our success in the back end of 2023, having shut down some of the game's best midfielders. My only concern with him is that he doesn't really offer any versatility. He will purely play a tagging role and doesn't really do much else. For this reason, I can't put him in the 22, so he will stay as an emergency. Next, we have Hustwaite. He is going to be a really special player. He's already showing signs of rapid improvement in the guts. He's so evasive and agile for a big midfielder and is cut from the same cloth as the likes of Pendlebury and the Bont. Now, he is really unlucky not to have a spot in the 22. I can see Sam Mitchell finding a spot for him, but for now, we'll put him on the emergency list. The last player I put as an emergency is Harry Morrison, but you could very well put so many other players in there. We are building serious depth as a football club, which is really good to see. Overall, though, I'm going to stick with this as my best 22 for the 2024 season. Please let me know what you think and any changes you would make to my team. This is purely based on my opinion, so please don't be upset if your favourite player missed out. That's all from me, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.